Hey guys, it's Christy from the Stamp Cycle here, and welcome to another episode of Critter Mania. So in the last episode, the first one, we made this fox, and that is from the Fox Builder Punch. So in today's, we're going to be making this cute little panda. So if this is your first video watching my Critter Mania, I have a very short video series showing you how to make different critters using the Fox Builder Punch. This is part of the Fox Suite, the Foxy Suite in the new annual catalog. So today, like I said, we're going to be making this cute little panda, so let's get started. So the colors that we're going to need are, we'll need some basic black. We need just a little sliver of Blushing Bride, and we'll also need some Whisper White. So the first thing you're going to want to do is punch out the entire thing here in the basic black. And as I mentioned in my video before, any of the body parts that we're not going to be using, I like to just set aside, and I put them in my body bag. So we will be using the head, we will be using that piece and the body, but we're not going to be using the tail, the nose, or the ear piece. So I just put that in my body bag, and here is my critter body bag, all the extra critter pieces. And this is so if you need an extra piece to create a critter, you might not have to punch out the entire thing again. You could have some spare pieces in your critter body bag, is what I like to call it. So I'll just tuck those away in my bag, and then we'll go on to the Whisper White. You're going to need to punch out the body and the head. So it's kind of hard to just punch those out by themselves. So I'm just going to go ahead and just take and probably punch out more than what I need, but there's really not any other way to do it. And this piece of Whisper White, I noticed, has, it was a scrap that but that's okay. You won't see it when we glue it on, so we'll still use it. So all we need is the head and the body from that. So I'm just going to toss that scrap. And then you'll take the Blushing Bride, and we don't need that piece either. So you'll take the Blushing Bride, and we need the nose. So you just need to come in here and just punch out the nose. And you could come through the top. That's why I have these little tiny slivers of cardstock, because that way you can just slide it in where you need it, as opposed to having to punch out more than just a few things. So I'm just going to slide this in, and I'm going to get, so there's our nose. So we can put all that aside. And then the last thing that we need to do is we're going to bring in our Owl Builder Punch. As I mentioned in my previous video, I like to use these little eyes, and we're going to punch out those in white to give you the eyeballs for the panda. So you just need to come in and punch those two out in white. And those are going to be hard for you to see on camera, but they are there, I promise. And then let's get building our panda. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need to do is trim the ears down to be a bear shape. Right now they're pointy like a cat or a fox, and bears have rounded ears. So just bring in your paper snips and just come in and just round the ears. And you know, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay. It's punch art. People aren't going to come in and make sure that each ear is exactly the same. So we got that, and then the next thing we need to do is trim down our eyes. So you take this piece of black and you just cut it down the middle. And then we're going to need to form kind of like the oblong, I don't even know what kind of shape you would say that is. So you'll just come to the top and just cut it in a curve-like pattern. And you want to cut off that point, because that's not really what pandas look like with points. So you'll trim off that point to where it gives you kind of a odd-shaped oval. And you see what it looks like there on the white. And then you'll do the same for the other piece as well. And we might have to go back and trim this down some more to make it fit on the panda's face, but for now we'll just we will see what we get here. And I can already tell that this one needs to be trimmed down a little bit. And this is where, you know, you got to just kind of be creative with your punch art. You just, you know, you try it and see what you like and adjust from there. All right, see, so that's much better. And then the next thing we need to do is for the white piece, this is going to be the main face, but we do not want the ears. We want the black ears that we just trimmed down. So you just come and, I know this feels really wrong to do, but you just cut the ears off this sweet little white fox face, and then that gives you the base of the eye. And then everything else, oh, the last thing we got to cut is the body. So, you know, pandas have black legs in the back, but a big white body in the middle. So I just came here and just eyeballed it and just kind of cut up. And again, like this is punch art, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to measure and get it even on both sides and go to all that trouble, please feel free. So now we just need to glue this little fella together. So I'm going to pull out my glue here. And again, ignore the previously stamped and colored part on the back of that Whisper White. That's what's great about punch art is you can use scraps that you've colored and didn't like, and no one will ever know. All right, so you do want to try to get that lined up. I didn't do the best job cutting him even, and so he might look slightly a little offset, but that's okay. You could, you know, you could work. This is just a video. Just want to show you how to make this, so we're not going to spend a bunch of time to make it perfect, but you could definitely go in there and do that. So next we're just going to glue the white piece to the head here. And that's what I like about a glue as opposed to tape, you know, snail or something. You don't have as much give room with snail. You put it down and it's pretty much stuck. Where glue, you can sort of wiggle it a little bit. All right, so now before we glue the head on to the body, let's do our eyes. So I am going to really use my tweezers for this because it's just easier to put them on that way. All right, we're just gluing everything on here. Kind of slanting the ovals down to give that panda look. And then we put our nose on. And you know, this is where you could come in and you could draw a mouth. You could use one of the stamps from the coordinated stamp set to put a mouth on the panda if you want. My panda doesn't have a mouth, but that's okay. I didn't want my panda to have a mouth. So it's your animal, it's your critter. You do what you want to do on it. And hey, it's your prerogative. All right, so let's put the eyeball on. All right, now let's just glue him to the body, and then we have one last step and this panda is done. So we'll glue his head on, and then I'm just going to take a Sharpie, black Sharpie that I have. You could use the journaling pens in the catalog. You could use any sort of black marker, but I'm just going to use this Sharpie. And you see on my panda, let me get a little closer. He has just little dots right in the middle of that white eye. You could do this before you glue it on, or you could do it like I am. It's probably better to do it before you glue it on. Got a little wobbly there, but all right. So that is the panda. Super cute. All right. Thanks, guys, for stopping by, and be sure to stop by tomorrow to see the next critter we'll make. Thanks.